When I was in Bora, I remember seeing on French television the trial, and it just said something, horrible person. Like, but her face is everywhere, all over the world. Amber's life is never going to be normal because of what she's done. It will never be normal.
Ms. Heard, you're not aware of any career opportunities that you lost as a result of Mr. Waldman's statements, are you?
1 a.m.
Well, it's kind of hard to point to the jobs you're not offered,
Right.
to the gigs you don't get.
You were not replaced in Aquaman 2, were you?
They released me from my contract, and I fought to stay in it, and they kept me in it. I just don't know how much I'm in, actually, of the final cut.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal actually extended your contract in April of 2020. Is that correct?
In part, they extended it and held me.
And you testified yesterday that L'Oreal extended your contract again in November of 2021, correct?
Not exactly. They extended it because it couldn't use me or any of the materials for me.
And that extension was for 20 months, right?
That's correct.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday how Mr. Waldman's statements, quote, torture you every day. Do you recall that testimony?
I do.
What were Mr. Waldman's statements?
And that you look at them every day.
I look at the online attacks, the media. You can't avoid it, to be honest, that those statements are often attached to. I don't look at his statements every day.
And you testified that you just want to move on with your life, right?
I do very much want to move on with my life.
But you've gone out of your way to engage with Mr. Waldman on social media, haven't you?
I have made a comment, I believe, once. I would not characterize that as engaging with him.
Let's please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 126.
You made a comment? What, did you tweet at him? If so, that is literally called Twitter engagement. And nonetheless, most people, by definition, call that engaging in a conversation with another person.
This is your tweet, right, Ms. Heard?
That is correct.
I'm going to move to admit and publish this tweet.
I'll check the relevance. Ejection, I'm sorry, is you?
Thanks, Abby.
What's the objection?
I'm sorry, relevance?
All right, I'll overrule the objection. 881C in evidence.
Penny said, let's see the tweet.
This is from March 26, 2021, right?
That's what it looks like, yes.
And this is after he made the statements you claim are defamatory, right, Ms. Heard?
She just wrote this a year ago. You know, it's funny to me that Amber in this comment is trying to appear well-spoken or like she's being kind. Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion. You could have just put a period, and this really shows your true characters. But on every occasion, you will still be short. Imagine making fun of somebody for their height. What are you, 5?
Are you kidding me?
Ms. Heard, you tweeted at Adam Waldman, quote, "Yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion you will still be short." Did I read that right?
Yes.
We can put this down. Thank you. Ms. Heard, since your relationship with Mr. Depp ended, you have completed your level 3 sommelier training, haven't you?
I haven't completed it yet.
You're on level 2?
No, I'm on level 3.
You also have had a baby, right?
I have.
And you enjoy being a mother?
More than anything.
You still love to cook?
I do.
And you love to hike?
I've taken a break on hiking for a minute.
You have friends, right?
I do have friends.
And you spend time with those friends?
Occasionally, when I can.
And you exercise regularly?
Every day.
You just filmed a movie in March of 2022, isn't that right?
Yes, the one I just shot in Guatemala that I spoke of earlier.
And you have, you had a major role in a major film that's scheduled to be released soon. Is that correct? Aquaman 2?
As I said, I don't know if I will even be in the final cut or how much I will be. It was difficult to stay in the movie.
You struck Mr. Depp multiple times during your relationship.
You know, one thing that I didn't think about was the jury has to know that something is changing in the public if the producers of Aquaman cut her out of the movie after it was shot. Like, they gotta know something's going on.
You struck Mr. Depp multiple times during your relationship, didn't you, Ms. Heard?
There were many times I had to use my body to defend myself, and that included swinging wherever I could. If it meant I could get away, absolutely. If it meant a difference between a sore face and a broken nose, You bet I would. You
So it's
bet.
your testimony under oath that you never struck Mr. Depp as the initial aggressor?
Well, he was holding me against the wall by my neck. You know, I might be the first person to have been the first one to slap, which happened in Australia, you know, when he was choking me. But I wouldn't say I was the initial aggressor in that situation.
That's a complete contradiction to what she said. She said I might have been the first one. What?
Physical with Mr. Depp often during your relationship, didn't you?
I had to defend myself as best I could. Didn't seem to make much of a difference.
You just couldn't control yourself, could you, Miss Heard?
I tried to defend myself when I could, but it was after years of not defending myself.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 356? And, Your Honor, portions of the exhibit were entered into evidence yesterday, but we moved to admit the entire recording.
Oh my
And I can confirm that there's no other voices besides Ms. Heard's and Mr. Depp's.
She keeps reiterating that because there are certain things that are recorded that are damning for Amber, but they have other voices on them, so they can't be admitted into evidence. Whenever you guys hear we move to admit like this plaintiff evidence, it means it's new evidence from Johnny's side that we haven't heard yet. So it looks like Amber's team once again played a small portion of the audio, and now we're going to get the full.
So I have 356A in evidence. Is any objection to the entire 356 coming into evidence?
If I may,
Okay,
hold on just for
sure.
a moment, Your Honor. I have to check on something.
She needs to know what's in there.
We couldn't go, and I just can't find my notes on that
We'll
right
just call it 356B for now.
That's fine.
and
Thank you,
then-
Your Honor.
Could you just give me
Okay, it's been
times
admitted.
again?
Yes, of course. 12927 to 13007.
All right, and I'm just told that we already have a B, so we have to do 356C.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, shit. Thanks, Herbst.
I can't promise you that I'll be perfect. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. God, I fucking sometimes get so mad I lose it. I can fucking promise you I'm gonna do everything to change. Promise you. I'm not gonna throw around divorce. I will not say divorce unless I leave. Unless it's it. And then I hope you leave me. I'm not going to, and me too. I will leave you. It's fair. I can't do it, you know? And I think, honestly, if we hold each other accountable to that, it's fair.
Ms. Heard, that's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, correct?
That's correct.
And you told Mr. Depp, quote, I can't promise you that I won't get physical, end quote. Correct?
That's correct. He was accusing me of instigating something in a situation I explained yesterday.
And you also told Mr. Depp that sometimes you get so mad you lose it, correct?
That's correct. I also explained the context of that fight yesterday.
What?
Isn't that exactly what you told Ben King on your way back from Australia? That you get so mad you lose it?
Absolutely not. I know that that's what Ben King testified
That
to,
is-
but I never had that conversation with
The
Ben King.
simplest answer is usually the correct one.
Your Honor.
If we could please
In the
play.
meantime, I'm sorry. I checked, and I have no objection to the entirety of 356 coming
So
in.
356 in its entirety will be in evidence. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. If we could please play from what's now been admitted, Plaintiff's Exhibit 356 in its entirety from 705 to 743.
I'm not gonna be in a physical fucking altercation with you.
Then don't.
You fucking hit me last night. You fucking.
Or how the other times you split. Come on, you cannot act like that. It's about that. It's
Well,
not.
when on a plane, I can't split.
No, and you hit back. So don't act like you don't fucking
I
participate.
pushed you.
I'm not going to get into the details of that fight. You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence involved. And that you do it like at the very beginning of fights these days. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight. And you don't actually do it respectfully. You don't.
Ms. Heard, is that you and Mr. Depp on this recording?
Yes, it is.
Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 343? And I believe that one's been admitted already into evidence.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you. And just for the record, we're playing from 24601 to 24720.
I don't think pushing is okay because I was thinking about that for a minute and I was like, what would I do if someone was like chasing me around? I don't think I would push anyone and I don't think that it's okay. But then at the same time, pushing to me signifies get away from me, which is just very in line with what all this is. Amber is the aggressor. Amber's always chasing him down. And then eventually we get to the reactive abuse, which is the pushing, get away from me. I mean, it's just very in line.
Travis, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the
right.
fucking thing. And
You figured it out.
And you said, no, fucking, no, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You know, you've been in a lot of fights, been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close
You
fist.
didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are you?
Chat, what's the difference between punching and hitting? You know, I feel like the words punching and hitting are interchangeable, whereas pledge and donate are not interchangeable. So, like, what are we gonna do? Just all live in Amber's world? I hate that world, because in that world, everyone lies except for Amber. That would make me a liar too, and Amber the saint. I don't want to live there.
What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you started.
You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up,
You started
Johnny.
physical fights.
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did. So I had
Because-
to get the fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable.
That's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right, Ms. Hurd?
That's correct.
And you said you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yeah, I had to hit his body to get
Ms.
him out
Hurd,
of the door.
my question was, you said on that recording that you hit Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, I did.
And you accused him of being a baby for not wanting to be in a physical fight with you, right?
Incorrect. I accused him of being a baby for complaining about me hitting him when he was trying to get through the door. I was trying to barricade.
What?
Can we please?
That doesn't make any sense. The aggressor is approaching towards you. I'm hiding in the bathroom, and they're trying to get through the door. And I start yelling at them. They're a baby. They're such a baby. Oh, what a
Pull up Plaintiff's
What a
Exhibit
dumb moment.
368. And again, Your Honor, this is a recording of just Mr. Depp and Ms. Hurd. I'm going to move for the entire exhibit to be moved into evidence.
All right, any objection to 368?
I don't think so, no, Your Honor.
All right, no objection. 368 in evidence in its entirety.
Phone's off in the courtroom. Yeah, that was
Anyway,
that was a surreal clown moment.
in the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. After a few times I opened, and you just kept going. You just kept going. I tried to close the door 3 times. Please, just don't. And then wait, and then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. And I didn't mean to do that. And I bent down, and you either pushed or you kicked. I think you kicked the door open. The door, more open, so that it would hit me. And it hit me.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know
It
that.
hit me in the fucking head.
But I did not mean to do that. I don't know what you're
I
talking
was
about.
bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to her. I did not kick a door or push a door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear that it was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes, I reacted, but the door thing, I remember, I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I might have done it on accident.
Okay.
But
So let's say that was an accident. I then stood up. I don't even know if I said, I might have said, like, what the fuck, whatever, because I'd just been hit in the head with the fucking corner of the door.
I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up. and then you fucking clocked him.
I think it's really good that Camille is just staring at Amber like this. Those eyes, I mean, like, everyone having eyes on her like that is very piercing, and it can kind of, like, affect the way she answers too. Because she can't make them stop looking at her, so she has a little bit less control. And as we know, Amber loves to be in control.
I remember hating you as a response to the door thing. And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door, or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor...
You didn't mean to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I do remember, I did mean to hit you.
So that you didn't mean?
The door? No, God, no, I didn't.
But punching me in the jaw.
I didn't. Okay, I'm sorry I hit you. I did mean to hit you, but
Oh
it was
my
in,
God, that's
in
another
response.
account.
I
I
just
didn't even know about
reacted in
this one.
response to my foot. I just reacted, and I'm sorry. It's below me.
Your foot? That was why you punched me?
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I.
What now, Amber?
Again, that's you and Mr. Depp on that recording, right?
That's correct.
And Mr. Depp was hiding from you in the bathroom. Isn't that
Incorrect.
right, Ms. Heard?
Incorrect.
Well, Mr. Depp said on that recording, I opened the bathroom door when you were knocking on it. Doesn't he?
I don't know if he said that, and I didn't hear that.
And
one
Mr.
detail.
Depp said, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. He says that, doesn't he?
Correct.
And then you kicked the bathroom door into his head, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
and
did.
And
I
then you punched him in the
defended
jaw.
myself in that audio.
Jesus Christ. These are some. She kicked the door open while the man was trying to escape and then full on hit him in the jaw. This is some WWE shit. And then she has the audacity to go write an article that says that she's the victim of abuse. I'm pissing on the floor right now. Like, Jesus fucking
Then you punched
Christ,
him in the
dude.
jaw.
I also did not do that. I tried to make that clear on the audio tape too,
So-
in futility.
So Mr. Depp said, you meant to punch me in the jaw, right?
Are you asking me what he said on the
Yeah.
on the recording? Yes, he said that.
And then you respond, I meant to hit you, didn't you?
As I explained yesterday, I was trying to get him off the door.
I told him.
You've heard this audio before, haven't you, Miss Heard?
Yeah, we've already had this trial before.
Yeah, it was played for you when you were deposed in 2016 in connection with your divorce from Mr. Depp, wasn't it?
That's one of the times I've heard it, yes.
Okay. So you've had plenty of time to think about how to respond to this recording, haven't you?
I don't know what you mean by that.
That was good.
Well, let's take a look at how you responded to it the first time. Can we please pull up what will be marked Plaintiff's Exhibit
If it's the
1261?
deposition with the blue background, she was nasty in that. She was nasty.
The next thing that I'm going to play to
Your Honor?
you
Okay.
as Hugh.
All right. Oh, if you want to come?
Yeah, but Elaine, it's your girl up in the deposition, sworn in and lying. I mean, the fact that she's been investigated for perjury in Australia. Why am I listening to this? I'm not putting this video on my YouTube channel, just so y'all know. It ain't going up there. Well, we got one going up today, but it ain't it one.
The next thing that I'm going to play to you as Hugh. Would you listen to this, please? This is punching. That's one of the right. This is punching. Let's skip on.
Anyway, the bathroom door
There's the desk.
You just kept going. Tried to close the door 3 times. You know, please, just.
Dude, she was so smug in this deposition. Y'all remember this?
I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess stretched your toes. I didn't do that. I bent down.
So this is her listening to the audio that we just heard.
But I did not mean to do that. I did not do anything to her. I did not.
8 years. 8 years of hanging on to this and torturing yourself those around you and now dragging the whole world into a toxic relationship. Wait, you're right. Fuck. 6 years. Let's play the clip. 6 years.
I swear, I mean, Jack, I was not.
Thank you, Chad. I'm done.
I remember when they were scraping my toes.
Okay. So you told him in
That's her
that
explanation.
excerpt that you hit him with the door but did not intend to hit him, correct? Did you say that?
I said whatever I said in that recording. I
Okay.
don't. When you play it for me, it's hard for me to remember every single.
And that's a recording marked as exhibit the punching.
Q that we
Q.
just played.
Q. Would you continue to listen to exhibit
I know, I was
Q?
so confident about the 8.
Are these from the same day?
I reacted, but the door thing, I remember, I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I was on an accident.
Okay. So let's say that was
Eating Amber.
I then stood up. I don't even know if I said, I might have said, like, what the fuck, you know, whatever. I just been hit in the head with the fucking corner of the door.
I'm so sorry. I did not. I'm sorry.
And then I stood up. And then you played the clock.
I remember hitting you as a response to the door thing.
That's exactly what I just told her.
And I'm really sorry about hitting you with the door or hitting your head. I did not mean to, nor.
You don't need to hit me in the head with the door, but you meant to
I did
punch me in the jaw.
I meant to hit you, and I did not do this thing with the door. I do remember I did mean to hit you.
For that, you didn't mean.
The door? No, God, no.
But punching me in the jaw.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So on the tape, you tell Johnny Depp that you did mean to hit him.
And it also misrepresents that what actually happened, which is him trying to get into a room I'm trying to keep him out of. And then he runs the door over my toes, trying to get into the room. I tried to push him out of it, which is what the hit is referred to. And Johnny, whenever he was injured or touched it, always referred to it in these ways of punching or clocked or whatever.
Oh,
and
what a shit
discuss it with
explanation.
him or not, the last thing you do in talking to him afterwards or trying to reconcile with him is to get into...
Amber's the one that likes to mix up words. That is what Amber does. Oh, a hit, a punch, a pledge, a donation. She said, I pushed him out, and Johnny liked to call it punching. Oh, come on, baby girl. That's what you do, and we can all see it. I feel like Camille has this like giant spoon. I was looking for a spoon. I got a spoon? Oh, yeah. Camille has this giant spoon with all of Amber's words, and she's like, open wide. Here you go. Just eat them.
I never even
eat your
addressed
words.
if he was ever pushed. It was a cold. He called it a cold clock. I mean, he's just very dramatic.
Isn't it true?
He's very dramatic. You're very dramatic. Oh my God. What a crazy person. She's a crazy
Smiling
person.
as that audio recording is being played in your deposition, aren't you, Ms. Heard?
Not smiling because of the audio. I'm smiling because of what's happening around me.
You even roll your eyes at one point, don't you?
I was sitting opposite a whole table
Whole
full
new
of lawyers
act.
who were snickering, laughing, and rolling their eyes at me while I was talking.
Is there something amusing about kicking a door into your husband's head?
No, I was rolling my eyes and commenting on what I was experiencing at that time and recounting the
Is
story.
there something amusing to you about punching your husband in the jaw?
That is not what I was smiling about, and no, I do not think it's amusing.
She didn't deny it. She did not deny it. The other time she denied that even happened, but she just said, I don't think that that's amusing.
Ms. Heard, you testified yesterday that all you want to do is move on. Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, your exact words were, quote, I just want him to leave me alone. I want to move on with my life, and he won't let me. Do you remember that?
Not true. Once again, Amber projecting, because after he paid the last bit of the settlement in February of 2018, they essentially had no contact after that until Amber wrote the op-ed at the end of the year.
Yes, that is correct.
He was trying to get away. He wanted her to leave him
That's
alone.
not true, is it, Ms. Heard?
It is very
What you got?
true.
You just haven't been able to move on with your life, have you? From Mr. Depp.
Oh, I'm here, aren't I?
She act like
In
she
fact, on
confused why she's
October
here?
11th, 2018, you actually commenced an arbitration action against Mr. Depp for defamation, didn't you?
I don't recall that, no.
I didn't know that.
Your Honor, may I approach? May we approach?
Come on, Camille. Come back.
It's not referring 2 months.
Distract me from this.
That you did, in fact, in October of 2018, 2 months before you published the op-ed in this case, that's the subject of this case, you initiated an arbitration against Mr. Depp for defamation?
It's not my understanding I initiated an arbitration. It's my understanding that our lawyers sent a letter to his lawyers after he called me a liar again, effectively, in an interview.
And that's 2 months before your op-ed that was published in December of 2018, right?
That is correct.
And that's 6 months before Mr. Depp filed this case against you, correct?
Ooh, 10K.
That's correct.
Thanks,
So
guys.
you fired the first shot, not Mr. Depp.
I disagree. We sent a letter.
Thank you. Ms. Heard, isn't it true that you once filled out a customs form falsely so that you could get...
May we approach?
Elaine said, please, no! Dude, Elaine really got her work cut out for her, dude. She really do. We still got 2.5 more hours uncrossed. By the way, guys, if this is your first time kind of watching the cross, I mean, really what Camille is doing is tactically poking holes in Amber's story. I think that she actually will cross in today. Cross will probably end today, but I'm sure that at the end of Cross, Camille is really gonna ramp up and leave off on a note, because you always want to leave off on a serious note with the jury before the day ends.
Courthouse
So she's gonna
after
come up with some
obtaining
heavy
the
hitting
domestic
shit
violence
here.
Restraining order against Mr. Depp. You walked out to, quote, a sea of paparazzi and cameras, right?
That's correct.
You testified that you were surprised to see the sea of cameras
That's correct.
because it was quiet when you went into the courthouse that morning.
And the divorce had remained under the radar up to that point.
You testified that no one knew about your divorce, so you thought it was going to stay that way, right?
No, I always figured it would come out. I just was trying to buy time.
You knew the media had been alerted that you were filing for divorce, right, Ms. Heard?
No, I just knew that it was impossible to do that privately, so you could just hope it was a matter of time. When
You knew they
filed.
were going to be there, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Your
I mean,
publicist-
I assume since it's a public building that there is that likelihood, or not likelihood, but possibility. But I was shocked.
Your publicist, Jody Gottlieb, was there at the courthouse with you, wasn't she?
Yes, she was.
So you anticipated.
Yeah, why
that
would your
you might need
publicist
your
be there?
publicist?
I thought the filing might make, well, I was told the filing was public, that it would be impossible. There's no way for you to do a private filing. And then the second that I filed for the TRO, it would be public news. I didn't expect all these photographers and cameras.
There's a lot of I think it was Bill Gates. Was it Bill Gates? When Bill Gates got the divorce, I didn't hear about it until he tweeted about it. Okay? There's a lot of celebrities that we don't hear about their split or their divorce until they speak about it. So this is it seems kind of silly based on my own experience of receiving information about celebrity couples.
To show up at the courthouse in real time, but they did.
If we could please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1280, which is a clip from
Wait,
your
why is
divorce
Ben Chu
deposition.
smiling?
And
Hold on, he's smiling
you
a
have
little.
at page, if I can alert you, you have the transcript there, page 74, lines 22.
You said
through
874?
74.
74.
Line 22 through 75, line 13.
I'm sorry, just 72 lines.
74, line 22 through 75, line 13. Plaintiff Exhibit 1280.
Executive responsible.
Ms. Heard, did you send a text message to Jerry Judge on May 24, 2016, telling Jerry Judge, quote, "I'm desperately trying to reach Johnny. It's extremely important. Please tell him"?
I remember sending the text message that is in front of me right now to Jerry, and I remember sending this because I wanted to tell Johnny or have him told by Jerry or someone who knew him or was close to him. Basically, I didn't want him to find out online that I had or was about to file, or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce.
Also, the viewership probably just went up because I put out a new video and then I linked that we were live right now. So hi people, if you're just coming from YouTube.
So I was trying to reach him through it out online that I had or was about to file, or I had already filed for divorce. I wanted him to know verbally. So I was trying to reach him through a third party to tell him. When I say reach, I'm specifically saying I would like him to know information coming from me or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing or my intention to do so from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
Alerted? Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Up there, didn't you, Ms. Heard? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before
She had
this
a contact
deposition was
there.
taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't know
TMZ
how
owns
to do
the
that.
copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what TMZ
Did they
owns.
pay you for that?
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
An exclusive video that Amber it was just Amber and Johnny in the room. That's it. Period. What is she gonna do? Blame a friend now for sending it? Yeah, you fucked up, Amber.
No idea. It is.
She fucked up.
I never got paid for it because I had nothing to do with that.
So TMZ was just lucky in getting the inside scoop to your divorce from Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. It is not. That's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that. And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way.
You
for
did,
years
though.
Not
and
when you
years.
were extorting him for $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way. Right. What extortion?
Tassa Van Reeves, your ex-wife, right?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
That's right. She's my ex-partner.
She's the one that you told this jury Mr. Depp was jealous of, right?
Yeah, well, that was 2013 fights around March, yes.
You testified that he tried to burn one of her paintings, right?
That's correct.
You testified he tried to burn one of your favorite paintings that she did, right?
I don't know if it was one of my favorites.
You committed domestic violence against Miss Van Reed during your relationship, didn't you?
No, I did not.
You assaulted her at a Seattle airport in 2009, didn't you?
Oh my God.
No, I did not.
And people saw that.
That's not true.
That
It
is
was
true.
covered in the-
That's perjury. How is that not perjury? How is that not perjury? How?
That's not true.
And it was covered in the press.
Oh my God.
Isn't that true?
It was planted in the press by Johnny's team 2 days after I got the TRO.
No, the article.
Not
Can you
coincidentally.
please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 1279?
Oh, I'm embarrassed for you. How? Why would you say that? No, why would you say no? Why would you say that that didn't happen? Jail, prison, jail. I knew, dude, Ben was staring right at Amber. I knew she was about to drop some hot fucking Carls.
If you could please have that article displayed for the witness.
Done. She's
This is
done.
an article from 2 years ago, correct, Ms. Heard?
I don't know when this
May
was.
of 2020.
That's not when it came out, no.
Move
The
the
story
article.
started getting planted in after I got a TRO, after I got a restraining order against Johnny.
Move the article into evidence.
The headline says, Amber Heard
Objection,
allegedly
Your Honor.
struck.
Objection, Your Honor. I think Your Honor ruled she can't say that.
If you want to approach again.
Dude, if you were on the jury, 1 in the chat if just that information alone would be enough for you. 2 in the chat if you'd be like, well, that doesn't really tell me anything. If I was on the jury, that would be enough that Elaine is trying to stop it that she specifically said what happened at a Seattle airport in 2009. Amber's frantic responses to it. My beeper would just be going off right now. And also, this tells me that Elaine may not have trained Amber for responding to this question because she's panicking. She probably thought it was inadmissible.
Title reads, Amber Heard allegedly grabbed.
And that means that she is allowed to, Judge Penny said, read that article. Okay, everyone, deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. Hold it in.
The title reads, Amber Heard allegedly grabbed, struck her ex-girlfriend at the airport. Doesn't it?
Yes, and that's not true.
Just yes.
May we approach?
Okay.
They really don't want this to get out. Look at Ben! Look at Ben! Look at her! She said.
So the article, the title is Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend.
No, overruled. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Overruled.
If I may start over. Amber Heard allegedly struck her ex-girlfriend Tassa Van Ree at the airport in 2009. Did I read that right?
Yes, this is another example of the smear campaign.
No.
So Mr. Depp is
you're
not the only
smear
domestic
campaigner.
partner you've assaulted, is he, Ms. Heard?
Sorry.
At the airport in 2009. Did I read that right?
Yes, this is another example of the smear campaign.
So Mr. Depp is not the only domestic partner you've assaulted, is he, Ms. Heard?
I've never assaulted Mr. Depp or anyone else that I've been romantically linked to,
It's
ever.
a lie. You're lying on the stand.
All right. Cross-examination. I'm sorry, redirect.
Wait, okay. Now it's time for the redirect. Oh, yeah, Elaine, come on,
Assaulted, is he,
man.
Ms. Heard?
I've never assaulted Mr. Depp or anyone else
She
that I've been
got
romantically
choked
linked
up
to,
when she
ever.
said that.
No further questions, Your Honor.
All right. Cross-examination.
I
sorry,
told you
redirect.
she was going to leave a bombshell on the cross-examination.
Did Ms. Van Rey come out after that article came in and make a public statement it was false?
Of course you did.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I should be at least be.
Overruled.
Thank you.
Of course she did.
Okay. Now, let's talk about the TMZ alerted. Explain to the jury what you meant by the TMZ.
She didn't want to talk too much about that article.
So when you make these kind of filings, meaning divorce...
I think that's all Elaine's going to say about that article, and that is not enough to combat what we just heard from Camille. It's really not. It's really not. Because it's not enough. It's not enough.
marriage, things like that, they are public record. And so when we filed for divorce, when I filed for divorce, I asked my team to file in the most discreet way, literally to put it under a stack of papers and file it at the end of day. So
Camille
kind
said,
of
"Open
had more of a shot of
wide."
being missed
Sorry,
by
my yogurt's still
paparazzi
in
and
there.
by TMZ and those sorts of publicity outlets. I believe that we had been remarkably lucky following the divorce, that it wasn't picked up, and that it gave me a precious few days of peace at that really fragile time. When I found out that they were going to run the story or that they had the information, I was trying to get a hold of Johnny to clarify that I did not do this in a punitive way. I didn't want him to be mad at me. I didn't want him to find out in that sort of context online.
And who had connections to TMZ?
Objection calls for speculation.
Do you know?
I do know. Johnny
Your
and I
Honor.
just spoke about
Your
it.
Honor, calls for
Sustain
speculation.
the objection.
Did
Sustained.
Mr. Depp tell you about who had connections with TMZ?
Yes, we talked about it. His lawyer, Laura Wasser.
Let's be very clear, okay? Everyone has a connection to TMZ. Keemstar has a connection to TMZ. TMZ will leak anything that they can confirm. You send it to them and they will dig into it. If it's real, they will fucking post it. You don't need to have any time. This isn't the New York Times. This isn't, I was about to say Washington Post, but apparently anybody can write a fucking opinion piece on WAPO. This isn't some exclusive news outlet. It's TMZ. They will eat the news off of the floor and deliver it to the people. We don't need any type of connection. Amber could have looked up the TMZ number in a Yellow Pages phone book and said, "Hey, I'm Amber Heard. I'm married to Johnny Depp and I have some information." And they would have been like, "We're on it. We're on the case."
The verification process
And we all
in
know
July,
that.
correct?
That was
Objection leading.
the first one.
Sustained.
Okay.
Kissed me again, held me. I cried, he cried, and then we had a short exchange and he put a note in my pocket that said, "I'll love you dead or alive."
Can defendants exhibit 1581L? I'm sorry?
Yeah, she absolutely has a connection for sure.
What the coaster was that he slipped into your pocket, what it said.
He said, "I love you forever, my Slim, dead or alive."
And what, if anything, did it have in addition?
His new phone number.
And to be, just so we're clear, on how many occasions in that second mediation did Mr. Depp look you in the eye?
Many.
Okay. And
That's your.
when Ms. Vasquez asked you,
That's what she's got. That's what she's got. That he looked her in the eye at some point after he said he never would again. That's okay.
if you knew why Mr. Depp couldn't or wouldn't look you in the eye here or in the UK, you said, yes, you know. Why? Please tell the jury why.
Because he's guilty. He knows he's lying.
You're lying.
Otherwise, why can't he look at me? I survived.
Oh my God.
Survived that man, and I'm here, and I'm able to look at him.
Thank you. You were asked about a bruise that was on your arm from March 15, 2013. Do you recall how long before the picture you had sustained that bruise?
I do.
How long?
2 weeks.
You were asked a number of times by Ms. Vasquez if you took pictures from your incidents earlier in the relationship.
Yes.
Why didn't you?
It was something I started doing only kind of incidentally. You know, I was commenting to my best friend. I was looking for support from my mom, things like that.
Pack it up, Amber.
There was, I'm ashamed to say,
Pack it up.
Never a thought that this would happen.
If you think the direct examinations are boring, this might actually be interesting because this is all the stuff that she's rehearsed with her attorney.
I mean, not until December, and my best friend taking pictures of me.
Well, actually, kind of. Let me take that back. So there's a lot of stuff that Amber has rehearsed with her legal team already, and they're going to go back and try to get her to say those things that they think are really powerful moments. But also at the same time, Elaine has to address some of the things that Camille brought up, and she hasn't been able to, like, they haven't had alone time basically since the day one, where she can train Amber on everything Camille asked her today. Does that make sense?
To capture it, did that?
So we're going to get a mix of the rehearsal and some raw. And Elaine hoping her client gives the right answer.
It has been suggested by Ms. Vasquez to you in your questions that you didn't tell anyone about the abuse until the TRO. Is that true?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
All right. What if any? All right. Who did you tell about the abuse during the time it was happening?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
That's not offered to,
and hearsay.
Sustained.
Your Honor, it's prior consistent statement.
It's leading. It's sustained. Next question.
Okay. What, if anything, did you tell to anyone about the abuse?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain.
Your Honor, may I approach?
That's fine.
I love justice. I love it. I do not care what the verdict now. It's like, it's just all out in the open now. It's just all out. It was really good when Camilla said, Depp is not the first partner that you physically assaulted, is it? Dude, that is not... Why is she just looking at the jury? Look at her. Her eyes are just wandering all around the jury box. What are you looking at? Amber's legal team needs to step it up, dude. They are not... I mean, it's hard to defend a lie, but...
People, have you shared the fact of abuse prior to...
The fact of abuse?
Objection, Your Honor, leading. Calls for hearsay.
How many?
Overruled.
Roughly about 10.
Can you name them?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I think she can, it's not offered, it's just showed that she informed people before. They're suggesting.
Objection, Your Honor, can we approach? This is, again, an
Okay.
What, if any, you were asked if you It was suggested that you had not produced this in discovery. Is that true or false?
Objection, Your Honor, leading.
Your Honor, she absolutely did that.
It's leading. It's leading question now. I'll sustain the objection as to leading.
What, if anything, did you do to produce medical records to the defendant, to the plaintiff in this case?
I turned over all of my devices, and they had Johnny's team had a third party or someone they selected as a third party go and pull all relevant documents from those devices, which I handed over.
Do you know how many were handed over?
Hundreds of thousands, I believe. Maybe.
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
All right, I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
And what, if anything, did you produce to the plaintiff in connection with your consultation with an ENT specialist relating to your nose?
Objection, leading.
Sustain.
Foundation, hearsay.
What, if anything, is not the cure-all? It's sustained.
Oh my God. Elaine doesn't know where to go now.
When did you see an ENT specialist?
2017 or
She went in 2017 after they had been apart for a year, after she was dating Elon and then bruises were showing up on his face. I know y'all saw them pictures. I can't.
2016 or 17.
And as a result of that,
And also, ENT, are you kidding me? That should be a clear record, a clear medical record with a date or something like that. And now we're vague between 2016 and 2017. That's a big fucking gap, Amber. That's a big fucking gap.
what did you learn about your nose?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'm not asking her to tell what they said.
We need medical records.
Yeah, I'll sustain the objection.
Elaine getting rocked right now. Getting rocked.
What, if any, production did you make to the plaintiffs of your medical records with the ENT?
Objection, Your Honor, lack of foundation.
If you want to lay a foundation.
Do you know whether the medical records from your EMT were produced in discovery in this
Objection,
case?
Your Honor, lack of foundation calls for speculation.
I'm
I'll
asking.
overrule if she knows.
Thank you.
Yes.
And do you recall? I'm trying. What, if anything, did the medical records reflect about your nose?
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection.
Yeah, where's the medical records? You can't just say that something happened to your nose with no dates. Penny's not taking this shit. Oh, somewhere between 2016 and 2017. By the way, I don't have the medical record, but let me tell you what the EMT said. Come on, dude.
Do you have injuries to your nose?
Yes.
Please describe those to the jury.
I have a bunch of scar tissue.
I'm going to object to the extent it calls for hearsay and lack of foundation.
Okay, let's see.
Overruled.
An improper expert opinion.
Well,
She can certainly testify too.
we'll see where it goes. Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a significant amount of scar tissue in my nose.
Objection, Your Honor.
I'll sustain the objection.
What, if any, difficulty do you have breathing?
Objection, leading.
What, if anything? And that does cure on
No,
it.
it doesn't. But I'll overrule the objection.
Thank you. Do you remember the question?
I have a significant amount of trouble breathing at night, and I've
Stop
been putting
drinking.
off having surgery for it.
Okay. Now, you were asked about December 15, 2015, and Ms. Vasquez suggested that you did not report the abuse or the injuries to Aaron Falati. Do you recall that
Objection, Your
question?
Honor, leading.
I'm entitled to go into what Ms. Vasquez asked.
The objection is leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
Damn, I want to say something so bad about an
Did you
email I just got.
report?
But I don't want to say too much, but remember how I just said an hour ago that documentaries they're coming. They're coming.
About the abuse you sustained
And I will
on
actually
12/15/2015.
never mind.
Objection, leading and hearsay.
Approach.
Like, can you describe your injuries, Amber? You know, considering you're a doctor.
Did you tell Nurse Filati on 12/16/2015 about the injuries you sustained from the 12/15/2015 attack?
I did. I believe I sent her pictures too.
Okay. And did you text with Nurse Filati on 12/16/2015 about the injuries that you had suffered as a result of Mr. Depp's attack on you on 12/15?
Yes, she guided me through a concussion check.
Wait, what was the date?
And
16?
did you tell Connell Cowan about the injuries you sustained?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
This is literally all hearsay. The only record we have of Amber's abuse is her just telling people. And how strange is it that she starts setting him up right before the divorce?
Do you recall Dr. Laurel Anderson testifying that she saw two black eyes
Objection,
on
Your Honor.
12/17?
Leading.
Sustain as to leading.
What, if anything, do you recall from Laurel Anderson's testimony in this case about what she observed on 12/17/2015?
Objection, Your Honor. This is outside the scope of cross-examination.
It's prior consistent statements.
I'm going to sustain the
It's
objection.
observations
Oh my God.
for
I'm
the
gonna-
12/17, the same day.
Sustain the objection.
Penny.
Next question.
Penny
May I
said,
approach?
dun dun.
When in December did you see Dr.
I'm
Laurel
ready.
Anderson?
Objection, lack of foundation.
Overrule.
Oh,
I saw her 2 days after the attack.
I got way too excited.
So on what day did you see her then?
That would have been the 17th of December, 2016, and I told her what happened.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
No, sustain the objection.
And when did you see Dr. Connell Cowan?
I saw him the next day, December 16th is my best recollection.
Let's jump to East Asia for a moment. And we saw a number of pictures from the backless dress.
I think that Penny's
What,
done with
if
her
any
after those
motivation
assault.
would
After
you
the
have
assault.
to claim that Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back, knowing you had a backless dress?
Objection, Your Honor.
I
Leading
think I can bring
calls for
this out.
speculation.
It's still leading. I'll sustain the objection.
Okay.
We eating tonight.
Why did you say that Mr. Depp was kneeling on your back in East Asia?
In the closet of the hotel room in Tokyo, I said that because it happened to me. And it would have been much more convenient if I was making it up to not include that detail, knowing I had a backless dress and I walked a press line and got photographed.
Now, we've heard testimony about Mr. Depp.
By the way, you're probably wondering why do I have a gavel? I just saw it in a shop one day and I love justice. No, I'm just kidding. It's this is a Smosh and Order gavel.
$5 million in 2015 and 2016 from his experts.
Objection, Your Honor.
Why did
Leading.
I haven't asked the question yet.
Hearsay. I mean,
Why did you not ask for $32.5 million from Mr. Depp?
Your Honor. Leading.
I said, why did you not ask?
Irrelevant.
I'll
The
sustain the
explanation.
objection. Sustain the objection to leading. Next question.
Why can I just ask?
My gavel
why
is
did you not
drunk
ask
with
for
power.
$32.5 million from Mr. Depp?
Because I didn't want
Asked
it.
and answered. Relevance.
Oh, overruled. Good.
Because I didn't want it. I realized that that's what I was entitled to, but I didn't want it. That simple.
We don't. Come on.
The tape recording that was played that has you laughing quite a bit. Can you tell the jury what the context
I mean, I don't know if these were cell phone audios, but tape recording.
of that particular tape recording was?
I don't really recall a whole lot about what was going on. I know we had been fighting kind of ad nauseum and in this sort of loop, if you will, and I'm doing my best to not show my pain. That's what I was trying to do. Was trying to be tough, not show what kind of pain I was in.
Now, Ms. Vasquez asked you about how you got your role in Aquaman. Could you please describe to the jury how you got your role in Aquaman?
I auditioned, not Johnny. I auditioned. I worked really hard, and I went to where we were filming the first movie, Justice League. I went, I think, 5.5 months early before filming commenced, when I heard that they wanted to fire me, and so I put myself in the job.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Keep it away.
I worked really
what they
hard.
said.
I worked really hard on that, and for 5.5 months early before filming commenced, when I heard that they wanted to fire me, and so I put myself in the job.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Sustained.
Also, not true. Absolutely not true. The stuntman from Aquaman actually started commenting on this case on Twitter. It's still up there. I think I retweeted one of his tweets. He basically mentioned that Aquaman was ruined because of Amber. She was showing up late to set all the time. She was rude to everyone. She was always in her trailer in between things. And on top of that, they constantly had to feed her lines because she did not know her lines. That came from somebody that was on the set themselves, that was upset that all of their hard work that they put into Aquaman, and this is a stuntman, literally risking his entire body just to make money in Hollywood. He was so upset that Amber had done this to the entire film. Y'all remember that thread, right? Dude, the fact Amber's gonna sit here and say that she worked really hard on her role and memorizing her lines is ridiculous, because the first part of acting is memorizing your lines, and then after that it's perfecting those lines. It's putting the right inflection, the right facial expressions, all that. So the bare minimum was to know her lines, and she did not, per someone who worked on the film themselves. They had to constantly stop so that she could be fed her next line. Trash.
I worked really hard on that and had to prove myself, and I did that for, even though I was only filming
and that's
for
why
6 days,
I'm
I was there
biased in
for
this
6
case, because I'm
months.
balls deep in all the
Just worked my
information.
butt off.
Balls
That's
fucking
why.
deep.
What, if any, role did Mr. Depp play in your getting Aquaman?
He tried to have me fired from it.
Objection, Your Honor. Speculation.
All right, I'll sustain his speculation.
How do you know that he tried to have you fired?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation and hearsay and lack of foundation.
I'm trying to lay a foundation.
All right, if you lay a foundation.
I saw it. I saw the emails. I saw the texts.
I'll sustain the objection as to hearsay. Next question.
As soon as Penny heard the response, she basically just told Amber to go fuck herself.
You were asked about Isaac Baruch and why he and that he saw no marks. What is your recollection of your interaction with Isaac Baruch during the week of May 22nd?
I saw Isaac when I was coming or going, meaning I was leaving or arriving to the building. I saw him at a distance. We did not have a in-depth conversation, nor would we. And I told him, actually, right after it happened, what his friend had done.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I don't think it's offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay. Stay away from what was said. Can you just tell us what interaction you had with him and his opportunity to observe you with absolutely no makeup?
Objection,
That's
Your Honor.
impossible.
Leading.
I'll sustain the objection. It's leading.
Please describe for the jury your interaction with Isaac Baruch during the week of May 22nd.
Well, not only did I have makeup on, but I did attempt to kind of let him know what happened.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
You were asked some questions about Officer Melissa Science's testimony. What, if anything, do you recall relating to Officer Melissa Science's testimony relating to your injuries?
Objection, Your Honor.
This guy in the courtroom said Amber Heard stating Johnny Depp tried to kill her but he also is my husband. And then he says, juror number 5, extremely skeptical. Raised eyebrows for the first time in 2 days of testimony. An hour in, jurors 4, 5, 8, and 9 barely look at Amber when she talks. They are all locked in and watching Vasquez. This update was 4 hours ago. Did he post anything else? I want to know. Wait, even the courtroom photographer has perched himself in the corner and has barely moved during most of the cross. You know what I'm going to say? This direct examination is actually more of a train wreck than second part of cross. I thought second part of cross was going to be a hook, line, and sink. This direct is her last chance, and it's falling apart so badly it is almost comical. And you know what? And friendly reminder, that is why we're laughing, because this is insane. Like, people want to boil it down to, they want to virtue signal, like, I can't believe people are laughing at a domestic abuse case. First of all, it's a defamation trial. Second of all, Amber is lying. Third of all, this is ridiculous. And sometimes the only way that we can deal with truly evil people like this, immoral, wicked people that will lie and cheat to protect their ego and get to the top, is to laugh at them, because it's exactly what they fucking hate. The one way that you beat a narcissist is by humiliating them, period. Because otherwise they're not going to listen.
Redirect.
Sorry, y'all know I'm popping off sometimes.
To Officer Melissa Sines' testimony relating to your injuries.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Your Honor said I could redirect after the cross-examination when she...
This case be making me mad.
Recall of Officer Sines' testimony in this case relating to your... Do you recall of Officer Sines' testimony in this case relating to your injuries and the property destruction?
I recall her saying that she didn't feel that the state I was in was enough of an injury to her, or wasn't injury seeming to her.
Amber trying to use that to make an excuse why she didn't get medical records, but it's really because the officer was like, what bruise? Basically. That was the officer's testimony. But let's not forget, we're living in Amber's world where everyone's lying except her. And this is just one big conspiracy to take a woman down.
What, if any, interactions did you have with Alejandro Romero during the week of May 22?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
That doesn't call for speculation. If she sees that he sees her.
He touched the side of my
I'll
face,
sustain the
too.
objection.
And again, Your Honor, if we can instruct the witness
If
to...
you could wait till after the objection, please. All right, next question.
What did Mr. Franco do on the elevator before laying his head on your shoulder?
He touched the side of my face and responded to what he saw.
We talked about you were shown a bunch
Elena,
of
you're getting her
newspaper
ass beat, bro.
headlines, and there was one in particular referring to sexual violence. What, if anything, did Mr. Waldman do to you relating to that article?
Objection, Your Honor. Lack of foundation calls for speculation.
Dude, somebody said Amber was too young for James at that point. You know what's just beyond hilarious about this? In the beginning of her testimony, when she talks about how Johnny and her met on set, she keeps emphasizing, he was much older than me. He was much older than me. He was much older than me. Well, that's strange that all of Amber's partners are significantly older than her. Tasya, older than her. Johnny Depp, what, 20, 30 years her, like 20 years her senior? Elon Musk, I think he's about 50 years old right now. James Franco, much older, loves younger girls, because what is he? Is he a pedo? I don't know. No, I mean, I guess he was hitting on minors. He was hitting on minors, okay? James loves younger women, and apparently Amber loves older partners as well. So I don't even know why she brought that up in her opening testimony.
Did he do to her?
Unintelligible? I don't understand the question.
Overruled, we'll see where it goes.
Franco's a creep, we'll say that.
He was carrying the paper that had that headline on it that he leaked and threw it at me at the UK trial. We were unfortunately sat kind of, actually literally next to one another with COVID spacing in between us, and he threw the paper down at me as he sat down with that on the cover.
And where was that?
In the UK, at the UK trial.
Objection, Your Honor, this is beyond the scope.
Wait, he laughing like, yeah, I did. Maybe he did.
That's not beyond the scope.
Overruled.
Thank you. Why did you tweet about the makeup and Mr. Waldman?
because he was calling me a liar and a hoaxer and that this was an elaborate hoax just to get Johnny.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question. Next question.
Yeah, okay. I don't have any more questions, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right. Ma'am, you can have a seat next to your attorney, okay?
That's it? That's literally...
You can go ahead and have a seat next to her. That's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our afternoon recess then for 15 minutes. Do not discuss the case with anybody and don't do any outside research.
Dude,
Okay?
no way. No way. Absolutely no way. That was her. Unreal. Absolutely unreal, dude.